that better? Is that what they want?
Fuck! Thank you for blowing out my fucking ear, Alcatraz. Holy shit. That was so uncalled for. Deary me. Now I've got a headache from that. Oh, crap. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 11 of the DNEsports Masters Championship. We are here at the Mexican Grand Prix at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. The 17 corner circuit has a total length of 4.3 kilometers, named after the famous Rodriguez brothers, probably the first superstars in terms of motorsport for Mexico. Quite a fitting name indeed. Couple of hot spots to look out for here tonight, particularly heading up to the very long run into turn one from the start-finish line. It's going to be absolute chaos, and it should be an absolute fantastic sight looking down the main straight in from turn one. And also drivers have to look out through the S's, particularly for warnings. And of course, a stadium section where it's quite easy for someone to lose it. Now, alongside me tonight isn't unfortunately expert. He couldn't make it tonight. So I've got my good buddy, old pal Alcatraz. How are you, mate?
Good, thank you, Smeggy. Great introduction as always. As I've noticed that a few drivers have taken their time leaving the pits, so we might be interested in some rain by the looks of the overcloud. But yeah, it's great to be back, and this is where we first kicked off our little relationship, as it may seem, at Mexico. And one of the drivers in particular in this group was a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully he can bring up some luck from this session here in the masterclass at DNEsports.
Yeah, poor old Wog Boy back in the DRS days. Season 1 Green Championship, if I do remember. So Wog Boy will be suffering through those Vietnam flashbacks for sure as he now goes out of the pits to begin his outlap. And just another thing of note is that every time both of us have done commentary, Stuart McKenzie has won the race. So he's clearly going to win the race today. I mean, there's no way in hell that anyone else is winning.
He's going for a lovely hat trick. So
it's only a matter of how is he going to win. Is he going to qualify badly and is going to have the mother of all comebacks? Or?
That would be the cherry on top for this little thing, because he always likes it when us two get on comms together because of obviously the lucky foot that's involved. As we have F1 Amazing now starting the first lap of qualifying. He's opted with the soft compound. It is I think it's a two-stop strategy, I believe. It's a soft medium, or a soft medium, depending on how you go. Or you can even do a one-stop, which is soft to hards or hards to soft. So as he goes into turn one, double locking up. Now he is starting with the wheel as he invalidates into turn three. So as he's still learning the ropes. Wizzy Rick, yes.
Yep, he'll be the next driver. He's coming into turn 4, heavy braking zone, third gear, second gear to get that extra rotation, then shoves it into neutral for good measure. That's not a very good thing.
He goes into good old NOS, pops that car a bit sideways, gives it the extra oomph behind it, as he already decides to pull out of this lap because obviously NOS drains all of your ERS, so he has nothing left.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have two back-to-back cars decide to invalidate, as I believe is Stuart. I'll just go to Stuart because obviously he's to him is his lucky charm as he goes and invalidates. So are we going to have a drop? So we'll go to Wog Boy.
Yeah, Wog Boy.
As he locks up hard. Oh no, he might pull out of his laps himself.
He doesn't shove it into NOS though. That's the key thing.
That's a key thing.
He didn't dump all his ERS as one. Oh, wait,
Ozzy decided to go and finish, but.
Okay, I thought he would just come in, but no, he finished the lap.
Yep, so NOS with an incredible time. Wild Boy.
Don't worry, Rizzy Rick. It was only caught on stream, mate. Not to worry.
I told him I'll give him more stream time, but Wild Boy.
Coming into the stadium section now for Wild Boy, coming around the hairpin of turn 13, I do believe. 14 and 15 as 40 goes fastest. A 1 minute 15.1, but here comes Wog Boy on the hard tyre as well and sets a 1 minute 17.5. That's how much slower the hards are around this circuit. That's a whopping 2.4 seconds.
But he is the quickest on the hard compound by a good second and a bit.
Yeah.
So a lot quicker compared to the hard compounds. Toey's just only doing a 119, Spilly a 118, Alex a 118.7, so they're all up in the high 17s, but as we have 40 deciding to show up with a 115.1, nearly getting into the 14s, which would be an incredible start. Obviously tyre temps and the track are going to be quite cold of this overcast. But going across is F1 Amazing Hour.
It's 14.7.
Wow. He's really pushing.
For his time. Oh no.
Stewart invalidates again. El Tonki has invalidated. Swaggy is he's on an outlap.
I think the driver we better look out for is either Very Lazy Towel or Zach Crichton. Zach Crichton's on a flying lap. He's coming out of turn 6 now, heading into the S's, turn 7. Cuts the grass.
Turn 8. So you've got a Zach.
Very nice time from Tao. Nice and up there, but still plenty of time left in the session for these drivers to pick up a few more positions, improve their time. And apparently Zach is purple in Sector 2. Goes very wide coming into the stadium.
Keeps the track valid. Okay.
Apparently, you must be able to abuse that little bit of tarmac on the outside.
But maybe he lost a good amount of time for it to become valid. No, he's done it by 3.
That's disgusting, Zach.
He used all of that track, nearly even touching the wall. That's an absolute rapid time. As I'll just keep toggling you through. Probably Swaggy. Looks like he's still chilling. Must be draining fuel, or he's had a really poor start to that lap. And Stuart McKenzie's started to come out with another pair of softs, so he's still going around. So he's going on a medium lap sooner or later.
Let's see here. Now X-Revolution has begun his first flying lap in P19 at the moment. Has not set a lap time. Here he comes into turns 1, 2 and 3, the chicane. It's very easy to cut too much, particularly at turns 2 and 3. Oh, there we go. And the back end steps out for good measure as well. It's so easy to do. If you stuff up turn 1, then you stuff up the next 2 corners. There's no way of recovering it. If you nail turn 1, that's great. But if you stuff up turn 2, you mess up turn 3, and that ruins your run onto the straight. And if you nail turns 1 and 2, that's great. But if you stuff up turn 3, you ruin the run. It's a horrible first sector, is what I'm getting at here. I hate this circuit.
It's a bit of a domino effect. I
don't know about you, Alcatraz, but I hate Mexico. with a passion.
You hate the Mexico. You hate the track.
Right? Sector 1 is a flow-destroying exercise from hell. Right? As I said, if you stuff up any of those 3 corners, you ruin the entire lap. Right? And if you manage to get through without invalidating, then you have to put up with Sector 2. And Sector 2, you require rhythm and flow, because it's a S section. It requires a lot of precision, a lot of flow, a lot of rhythm. But the problem is, you probably freaking lost it in the first sector because you stuffed up one of the turns. So you enter the second sector completely, out of it. And so you cut every freaking corner through there and ruin the entire second sector. But if you nail the first and second sectors, that's great. Then you have to come up to the mother of all slow sections on the Formula 1 circuit at the stadium section. My God.
I think that was just made just so people could have a long enough time to take a photo. Yeah. It's just
I've never seen a more useless piece of racetrack in my life. Okay, it's useless. It literally just slows the car down so then the cameras can get a good look at them sponsors.
Yeah, I think that's all it is. But as Stuart McKenzie's about to cross the line, the camera shot that he gave really abused. He really abused that turn going into the final before the extremely slow stadium center. They completely run off the track. They are all about it.
Okay.
So
I guess there must be a couple of places. Like I keep it mostly within the white lines. I'm aware of the track extension coming into the stadium section. I sometimes use that when I outbrake myself. and you don't get a warning. But yeah, these guys with plenty of experience, they know where to corner cut and where to track extend at this place and to maximise each millimetre of circuit. So, although it's not sportsmanlike, you kind of get it. You know, you have to maximise
if it's there,
each part.
why not use it, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm on board with Aussie, and he's going just at the end of Sector 2, so I'm interested to see if it's a common theme, seeing if all the drivers know that they can really just extend it. No, he stays within it. But yeah, Stewart behind him used all of it. He was as close as nearly hitting the wall. It got to that point. But yeah, maybe that's the difference of a few tenths. Ride that curve and get as much power as you can out of it.
Well, in the midst of all that, Aussie Rizzy Rick has driven himself to third place, a 1 minute 14.8. Just a little bit behind F1 Amazing Hour and a lot behind Zach Crichton. I wonder, was Zach's time, was that because of the sheer amount of track extending that he was able to do? Tell you what, he's just about to start a flying lap. I think we better investigate how
he does a lap.
Around this place. So he comes. Okay, he uses the inside curb. Now that's.
Whereas the racing line uses goes quite wide throughout, so he's just cutting that time down for. I thought you would use more of the track to get more speed going into turn 1.
You'd think so, but no, he really gets it up to the curb.
And he really bunny hops these ones here as well. Yeah, he bunny hopped all of that sector, so it's not really turning. It felt like a straight line for him.
Here we go.
He purple sector 1, so he's improved on his time here.
2 tenths. He improved by 2 tenths in that. Fuck off, Zach. You're too bloody quick. Turn 6.
No braking, just engine.
Yep, that's all it is. Now coming into the S's. Now, he doesn't cut the grass. He doesn't cut over the grass, but he uses all of the road on the inside on the first couple of S's. And
that's a good cut there.
He just flows it really nicely through the S's.
And now the big cheat zone. Look how wide he gets throughout.
He loves to use
it. Yeah.
It gives him better mid-corner speed.
Ooh, that was nice.
Okay, steps out. But here we go. Watch this line. He will hug it, and he will touch that curb.
Wow.
And it's a 14-2. Are you kidding me right now?
And F1 Amazing Hour counters. He counters.
Excuse me? With a capital excuse? Okay.
My man, we were watching the wrong driver for exploits.
That is an awesome lap from both drivers, really. But F1 Amazing Hour just pulls an 8 out of his sleeve. That's a 14-2.
Surely we're seeing teams towing now just so they can get into the 13s. A tow would be a game changer, because I haven't seen any of these drivers get a proper tow. And I know that Team Alpha is quite strong in their team building as well as doing slipstreams and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we still got the middle pack, 10th and 9th on medium compound. Rossarm not doing a lap yet, but Spilly crossing the line to start his medium stint on the qualifying.
Another thing I've noticed is that 4 drivers have yet to set a flying lap. Swaggy, Aaron Gaming Waver, and X Revolution.
Now, I know Swaggy's got a qualifying ban, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Aaron, not sure. Surely he's not just going to hold it to a one and done session.
Well, he's out on circuit at the moment. He's in the middle of a flying lap. Let's see. He's coming through the S's now, so you go left and right. He'll use the track limits on the inside. No, he won't. Not quite. He gets
not as quite as others.
And comes out of the S's. It wasn't quite as flowy as what Zach did. Apparently purple. I don't believe that. 4th gear.
Doesn't use the line as much. This time is roughly top 70. I don't think it was the... Yeah, he's pulled out already. He's on 0. He's going straight to the pit. So he would have crossed the line, roughly around that 7th mark there. But if we just flip across... Oh, we've got the... Zach Crichton looks like he's about to come out with another pair of softs. Maybe for one last lap. Ford, he's probably going to do the same. Tao is on a lap, so we'll stay on board with him. He was one of the top 5 drivers to put out a lap. So he started in 4th and he's been dropped down slowly to 9th.
Oh, in the back end steps out into turn 1 for Tao. Oh dear, that lap is completely out of the window, mate. You might as well just pack your bags and set yourself up for another lap.
Yeah, hopefully he's got enough fuel to go for another, but by the looks of it, how he's still pushing, he's probably just interested on what time he might get. So just for fun, we'll stay on board with him if he's going to continue to push, just to see what time he might have placed himself if he's not going to go into the pits. But that back end coming is dangerous, yeah.
That Ferrari doesn't look stable at all. It looks alright through the S's though.
It's very stable throughout there, but
that would have been a quarter cut.
Oh yeah, there would have been a few. So we'll take his time with a grain of salt. And he does use a similar line compared to the others.
Just carries slightly better mid-corner speed because of it. Just taking that nice wider line. Going out of turn 16 into turn 17, and he's coming into the pit. You won't be able to get another lap in.
No.
Oh, unless he cuts up. Oh, even then.
Nah, the team takes about 45 seconds.
Oh, is he being held?
He's been held by his teammate as well, so he's definitely not coming out. So Spilly coming to the pits at a very similar time, leaving the pits has caused Tao to even lose a lot more time, potentially. So we're probably going to see him drop out of the 10, which might not be the worst thing for him, starting probably around 13th by these times coming through. As Romeo Alonso's out, we have look at this group of cars coming out. So we'll stay on board with Zach because he's the first of the 4 cars that have decided to go. Oh, he's going to let them all go. And even Aaron's joined the party. So are we going to see a little bit of a tow for Zach to be pushed because Aaron's got in front of him? So
we'll have to wait and see.
Because Aaron hasn't set an actual time. So and
I mean,
Stewart needs to get 4/10 to even jump Zach. And he's in the pit, so Zach's got P2. But it just depends if he's going into P1 from his lap here.
And Revolution hasn't come out of the pit lane either. He's going to start 20th. That's... El Tonki, dearie me, has had an accident and turned 16.
So what's going on here? There's a Ferrari Spilly racing the 2 Mercedes drivers. Are they going to all miss this? What's going on here?
They don't want to slipstream each other. They don't want to lead. They all want to tow. This is Monza. Wow. This is Monza from real life. And Dr. Dre's in. He said, I've had enough. So Aaron's leading his teammate. Will he let him by?
Because he's got to get him by turn 1. He's got to get him by turn 1. He's got to let him go. Oh my, he's sacrificing his own lap.
So, it's on Zach now to try and claim pole position. Will he have to stay on board with this lap? He needs to find half a 10th of a second. And he's got 2... he's got 200s.
Not even a big assist there from the toe. Maybe that hinted his braking zone. Maybe didn't think he was going to pull out.
Maybe.
But
let's see. He's now coming through the S's. 5th gear. Left, right, and left again. Oh, how was that? No. And
he's done and put it into the wall.
Wait, did he put it into the wall? Or?
As Spilly's done the same thing. They've all decided just to go and absolutely make the mechanics do some extra work before the race. But the one driver that decided to continue his lap was Aaron.
I don't think...
As soon as he invalidated, he decided to put it into the wall. As Gaming Wafer decides to do the same, and Aaron decides to finish in 5th. But Aussie, don't sleep on him. He's on his lap.
Let's see. Here we go into the same. That was just a very strange crash. 40 goes to P3. He was on a flying lap. I didn't get to see that. A 14.5 through the little S in the stadium section over the clobber curbs. Coming out to the final corner.
And he stays
and that is still P5. Oh, Oh, it's that big of a gap between P5 and P6, even though he improved by three
P5 and
tenths of a second.
P4 is only just a whisker away. So it's
Well,
not bad.
P3 to P5
Yeah.
is also that same whisker, more or less. So. Oh, but Zach, that was a odd way to end the session. Dear me. He just kept turning, as Toddster's doing some donuts, which is quite nice. He just kept turning left. I guess he did just deliberately crash out at qualifying. Either that or... Oh wait, he's not a pad user, is he? He's a control...
Toddy, I hope you didn't qualify on those tyres, mate, because those softs will be gone.
Yeah, the softs are dead. Repeat, softs are dead.
I think he was the last user to actually go on the mediums. I think he sets his medium time, I believe. Nope. Oh no, invalid lap on the softs. What?
Oh right.
Wait.
Okay.
No. Yeah, this is his last. Yeah, he went for another lap and just invalidated on this. So that's alright.
Yeah. And more donuts and lots of smoke and all that good stuff. We all love it. But F1 Amazing Hour on pole position here in Mexico, a 1 minute 14.198. As the timer has gone to 1, but...
The game doesn't know what to do now.
Oh, no. Right.
The game was in limbo.
There we go. And Toddster retires from the session. But yes, F1 Amazing Hour on pole position on 1 minute 14.198. Half a tenth of a second, separating him in second place, Zach Crichton, our championship leader. 40 in P3, Stuart McKenzie P4, who was going to win this race. Aussie Rizzy Rick P5, Roscoe Arm P6, Gaming Wafer P7, Romy Alonso P8, Toddster P9, the Very Lazy Towel P10. And all of these drivers will be starting on the soft compound tyre. Plebs P11, Wogboy P12, Rudy P13, Spilly P14, Aaron a lowly 15th, Dr. Dre 16th, Alex 17th, El Tonki 18th, Swaggy 19th. And because Revolution didn't set a time, he'll be starting from dead last. Now, did Revolution have a ban?
Nope.
I don't... Yeah, it's just... He'll be starting from dead last.
I just know it was just really one report. That was Swaggy. That was it.
Right. Maybe he did a Wog Boy and just invalidated every lap that he did during qualifying, because Wog Boy did that. Poor Wog Boy. Bad vibes at this place for Wog Boy. Some very bad vibes. And anyway, as a session counter counts down, drivers are just fine-tuning their setups, fine-tuning the fuel loads, and for positions 11 through 20, selecting what kind of strategy to go on, what tyres to start on. As the drivers now begin the formation lap here in Mexico. Now they do. So, just looking at 11 through to 12, we got quite a big amount of mixed strategies going on. So Plebs on the softs, Wogboy on the mediums, Rudy on the softs, Spilly and Aaron on the hard compound tyre, Dr. Dre and Alex on the mediums, El Tonki on the softs, Swaggy on the mediums, and Revolution on the softs as well. So those hard and medium runners, hoping there isn't going to be an early safety car in this race. But again, that incredibly long run into turn one always leads into a little bit of trouble, particularly for the mid-pack. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we did actually see a safety car on lap one. Let's see. So, we both know that Stuart McKenzie is going to win this race.
Yeah, so I don't know why we're just streaming for fun.
Yeah.
Well, this is basically just like a stream dedicated to Stuart McKenzie. So, by our luck towards him.
Yeah.
Top three for the race. Obviously, Stuart McKenzie's going to win, so that makes my job easier. I feel like his teammate, he's been extremely improving. So F1 Amazing now has been improving quite heavily on the wheel. He might claim, I believe, his second podium. as someone decides to absolutely crash dead straight into the wall. That's probably a Haas.
It's Toddster and Romy Alonso, I think.
Oh, yeah. I am utterly shocked. And P3, 40, he's been really consistent. And the way he's been driving, he's just been phenomenal. So I think Zach has been chilling a bit too much lately. And I think he's slowly going to bite the bullet soon on all these competitive drivers. They're just going to slowly catch up to him since he's explosive point lead at the start of the season. But 40's catching up, and an F1 Amazing Hour is getting quicker. So it's going to be a very interesting race, especially going into turn 1 on this very long straight.
Well, I'm a gambling man, and I think
second place will
go to Aussie Rizzy Rick.
Don't even mention the name. I want to see him gone.
Third place will go to Aaron. Third place will be Aaron.
Aaron back to back, you reckon? From it's quite dirty 100%. That they've done it to him.
But here we go. We've got 5 red lights. No, it won't be 5 red lights, will it? No, I didn't think it. So when is it going to be lights out?
Are we chilling? We've got 19 drivers on the grid. We have a very lazy Tao gone.
Here we go. Tao left the session
during the formation, so he is gone.
His car must have despawned, but here we go, going down the massive run into turn 1. Look at them scatter all over the circuit. But here we go, into turn 1. We've got 3 wide, we've got plenty wide going through turn 1, and we've still got plenty wide going through turn 2. And everyone seems to get through relatively unscathed from my book at the moment. Here we go, into turn 4 we go. Zach Crichton takes the lead of the Grand Prix. As I see a Haas go very wide, I think that was Roscoe on at turn 4. But here we go through turn 6. Now, just looking at the leaders, Zach Crichton has bolted, and he's got F1 Amazing Hour right in behind him. 40's dropped away a little bit. Gap has almost opened up to 1 second between himself. It has a massive moment. My God.
Was that 40 or was that Rudy?
That was 40.
That was 40. Oh my God.
That was 40. That was one of the biggest moments I have ever seen that someone has managed to save. I mean, when you have a moment like that in this game...
Especially at Mexico, it's difficult to recatch. Yeah, it's difficult 100%. To catch that back.
And somehow he has. That is absolutely superb stuff. As Philly has left the session, hopefully he'll be able to join back.
Team Ferrari just getting lost here. But sneakingly, Aaron up 5 positions already.
Gaming Wafer! Oh my goodness me. That was one scary moment. Gaming Wafer from going literally from the right-hand side of the circuit all the way over to the left-hand side of the circuit to try and cover off Aussie Rizzy Rick and Romy Alonso from passing him into turn 1. That was one big moment I saw there. Now, who was getting the most amount of places, I wonder?
His lead to a second. There's just a bit of a train going here from F1 Amazing Hour, really, but obviously 40's the main starter of this train. But Gaming Wafer doing a catch of the century, same with 40 to keep their position. Like we've said before, we cannot invite, we are spectators. We can't do any of the sort.
No.
Only drivers, so be lucky that someone does it during the pits. But your AI's on a reasonably high setting, so, I mean, you'll still lose a lot of time compared to these drivers, but hopefully you can rejoin when they go through a pit stop. But unfortunately... F1 Amazing Hour counters with the fastest lap time, but Zach is still a second...
Yeah, it's very good stuff at the moment. We enter lap 3, so DRS is now enabled. And at the moment, F1 Amazing Hour is just, and I mean just, clinging on to the back of Zach Crichton. The gap is almost...
Gaming Wave had a moment. He tried to do exactly what he tried to do on the similar lap. Cover down the inside lane and then go back towards racing line after when it was coming to the braking point.
Oh, look at this weaving.
Yeah, this isn't good. This is not safe at all.
Something's going to blow up in a minute, and Plebs, the poor bugger, is right in the middle of it. He tends to get himself into situations where he has some sort of accident or gets involved in some sort of accident, the poor fella.
Yeah, Toddy's right up Gaming Wafer's gearbox. If Gaming Wafer makes a mistake, everyone's gone.
Or, in turn, Toddster makes a big mistake, the big understeer coming through the S's, and he has to cut the corner. He would is bound to get a warning for that for sure. Aaron, having a superb start, is up from 15th to 10th, up 5 positions. Swaggy and Revolution also having good starts, up 6 positions each. So we've got a few movers and shakers up the field. Romy Alonso being another from 8th to 5th, but right now he's right by himself. He's got big gaps to the drivers in front and behind.
Yeah, as Stuart's slowly cutting down this gap to 40 because F1 Amazing now is caught up rapidly towards Zach Ryan here. So
now, I wonder if Tao's able to race because he's joined back into the session.
No, it's an odd one. So the situation is it's very similar to what happened at Wogboy at Austria. Is if you lag out but you've done qualifying, but someone's already picked their strategy, and you haven't rejoined before, then you are out.
Yeah.
So someone clicked X really quick, so Tao could rejoin.
I remember that in Austria, yes, when he had that sound glitch. Oh, we have an accident. Let's see here. We had a brief yellow flag moment between Alex Philly and El Tonki then, coming through turn 4. It was just a brief yellow. It doesn't... Oh, scratch that. Philly does have damage. But I think, he's a... Oh, and contact between El Tonki's and Spilly's AI. It's now resulted in El Tonki now having a broken front wing. Yeah, no. The AI is still... Oh, battle for the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Crichton, is he going to go defensive into turn 1, or is he going to let F1 Amazing Hour by? He switches back to the racing line. The drivers go side by side through turn 1 into turn 2. That could have been contact, but luckily they avoided each other, and 40 is lining himself up.
Look at
very
this.
Nicely.
I reckon we can possibly get that 4-wide multi-hit in like a lap or so. Because these drivers have got massive speed.
Oh, and Amazing Hour and Zach contact. Oh, this is good stuff. And
3-wide here, no! Don't, 40, don't get involved here, lad.
And they're still side by side. What kind of touring car stuff is this? They're side by side, going into the S's. F1 Amazing Hour has the inside line. Now Zach does. Now F1 Amazing Hour.
Surely you guys know when to stop.
Still side by side.
Oh my god, stop it!
And Amazing Hour comes out on top, and 40 says, "Oh!" And Amazing Hour backs out.
Looks like maybe Amazing Hour got an illegal overtake during that off moment there. But look at all the people catching up.
Yeah. Oh my goodness me!
Our train has rejoined, and this is going to be something special, ladies and gentlemen.
But here we go.
I can feel it.
Begin lap 6 of 36. The fact that this is only lap 6 of 36 means there's a hell of a lot of action to still churn out of this Mexican Grand Prix. Going into turn 1, Romy Alonso has introduced himself to this battle.
That was
and
so
I saw that
close.
Well. That was incredibly close between those two. Here we go, on to the back, the second DRS zone rather. Then Amazing Hour. Those moments where Zach and F1 Amazing Hour side by side, pretty much everywhere. That was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of skills to go side by side through there.
McKenzie, my goodness me, man!
Save of the day?
I think so. I mean, I thought it would go to 40. I don't think so. I think it has to go to Stuart McKenzie because he was all types of loose coming out of turn 6, and somehow he manages to catch it and keep up with the leading trio, but he's now got Romy Alonso right in behind, who proceeds to understeer at turn 12, coming through the little dog leg in the stadium section that serves absolutely no purpose to the circuit itself. Now coming on to the pit straightaway once again, and Rizzywick is now in this battle. Toddster's within a second as well, and Plebs, if he can just gain a little bit, he's going to get up as well as F1 Amazing Hour down the inside, and he gets the job done using the DRS.
Oh, a bit sideways. So Zach might counter here. No, he has to just slip in behind for the...
Back.
But I believe F1 Amazing Hour will get DRS as he does, as Plebs gets 3 seconds.
Oh, and Zach is moving everywhere, trying to fill F1 Amazing Hour's mirrors as much as he can. Coming through into turn 6 now. Still, look at this train. This is absolutely brilliant stuff. Tots is definitely in this battle now for sure. So we got pretty much a 7-way fight for the lead. I mean, just one accident, it could potentially take out 2 or 3 drivers in something.
Exactly. Even like a time penalty in particular can ruin it. As Stuart McKenzie gets a time penalty this early.
Yep, 7 laps in.
Nah, we can remove that. Don't worry about that. Because he's already in the lead of the race. I don't know why we're still streaming this, but
yeah, exactly right. We already know who's going to win.
Yeah, we already know he's going to win. So, but another fight for the lead by the looks of it. As Zach's going to just get DRS. He's lost a full second. Wow.
And you can look at his ERS. 3%. Now
2%. 1%.
He is using every inch of ERS he can possibly find to try and keep up with F1 Amazing Hours Alpha. Going through turn 3, and there we go. Just one mistake, and look at Amazing Hour pull away.
Romy with a drift! Bro, I don't know what save is going to be the save of the day if people are pulling off this shit.
Mate, we're going to have so many clips of drivers just somehow saving it. And it's going to be those montages of these drivers saving it. It's going to be longer than the bloody race itself, I think.
I think it's just Mexican highlights. It's just ridiculous. Because these guys are near the end of their soft stint, because I believe it's a 2-stop going from soft to softs or mediums to softs, which is roughly around lap 8 or 9. But yeah, their tyres are dead. The amount of times I'm seeing smoke pull up in the braking zone is ridiculous. They just smoke every turn. Their tyres will be dead.
X-Revolution now. 3 seconds, dearie me. It's starting to pile on the penalties.
Yeah.
But now F1 Amazing Hour has broken the toe. The gap has opened up to just over 1 second.
DRS difference is very similar though. 4 and they're both going to run over ERS before the end of the straight here. But 40 comfortably on 52%.
Yeah, he's going to introduce himself to this group very quickly.
40 and Stuart McKenzie are kind of specialists when it comes to saving the ERS, I feel. They always seem to have a lot in the tank here, so their raw pace just with fuel alone is really consistent. But Zach always just is very... I think he's the one that drops his fuel down to 0 and uses all of his ERS all the time. But yeah, this is very interesting as 70% ERS.
Yeah, it just shows how well those two fellows manage their ERS, and it's, yeah, you're right, it's almost in every race. They just manage it really well. And it pays dividends towards the end of the race as well, just to have those extra resources to play with. Now McKenzie might be looking for a move, not quite, he's not quite close enough. And Alonso is doing a superb job as well on 75%. Yeah. He's saving plenty of ERS, so both racing points look pretty solid as Rizzirik gets a 3-second time penalty. So here they come, ladies and gentlemen.
As they all go in, and Romy's going to go for an out, he's going to go for an over. So he's going to stay out.
F1. H is staying out. So some of these guys might be trying the 2-stop. Maybe F1 Amazing Hour, Alonso and Rizzirik, they might be trying the 1-stop.
Yep, Zach's on the hard compound. Yep, and 40's on the hards. Stewart's on the medium. So yep, Stewart's going for the 2-stop. He'll be a lot quicker, but obviously he's got to make that time difference up to basically get another pit stop in. But he'll be rapid at the end of this race on softs.
Yeah. But he just has to try and build that gap for that next pit stop so then he doesn't lose too much time. And he has to try and overtake these two, 40 and Zach Crichton, who aren't exactly the easiest drivers to overtake in this business. So he's got plenty of work to do as Zach proceeds to lock up into turn 4. But yeah, Jesus. Between 40 and McKenzie. I thought there was going to be a bit of contact there, but luckily there wasn't. See, there's not much going on in the rest of the field. Everyone seems to be looking pretty good in their own little world at the moment. Oh, wait a minute. What happened to Rudy? Something's happened to Rudy. As Romy Alonso, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Deary me.
That's going to impact this race so much, like quite a bit. There's Rudy decides to go a little bit Tokyo drifting. But let's see where F1 Amazing come out. Does he come back out in front is the question.
Oh, and Zach's got a toe from Dr. Dre. He's got DRS. This is going to be some side-by-side action
Oh my god,
between
he's going
F1
to eat him
Amazing
up.
Aaron and Zach. Here we go. To the outside goes Zach Crichton on the racing line, but does Amazing Hour hold the line? No, but Zach goes very deep into turn 1, but gets the position coming through turns 2 and 3, and it takes the effective lead of this race, but he is very low on ERS.
Yeah.
He was spending a lot of resources to try and get in front of F1 Amazing Hour. But by doing so, he now leaves himself quite vulnerable to 40. 40 can quite easily try and get past AH. And AH is on the mediums.
He's going for the two-stop, exactly. So he's been hindered by staying behind Zach, so he needs to get in front of him as soon as possible to really start getting the most out of those mediums.
And Zach would know that. He would 100% know that. So he's going to make that thing the widest Mercedes-Benz we have ever seen. Like, the cars are only 2 meters wide, but it's going to seem like they're 3, maybe 4 meters wide coming down the pit straight. But here we go. But I believe it's going to be quite inevitable with Zach because of how overtaking works in this game. It's just DRS open and just go straight on by. Let's see, slipstream, DRS, chucked it up into mode 4. He's going to look to the inside. And I think that might be a little battle over. Not quite. Scratch that. Zach's fighting through turn 2, but he can't fight any more than that. And
It's 40's getting involved.
Oh, hello. Here comes the pink Mercedes. Is he going to go down the inside of Amazing Hour? No, he isn't. But he's overtaken Zach Crichton.
Yeah, which is the main person who needs to stay in front, since they're both effectively the leaders of this Grand Prix. Especially depending on how F1 Amazing Hour goes with his two-stop strategy. But damn, it's getting super close.
I don't know how. Like, Zach's going to have track position. Same with 40, and Zach looking horrible through the S's and leaving himself incredibly vulnerable to Stuart McKenzie in the Alpha. He goes down the inside into turn 12 and overtakes the Silver Arrows for P7. Now Romy Alonso, he might sense a place or two. He's on the soft compound tyre, so he's planning to try and get in front of these guys and try and pull away. It might not work out, but he's set fastest lap, a 1:17.957. Let's see, we've also got some battling going on at the top of the field. Swaggy leading the way, but Wardboy and Aaron currently fighting for position. Well, let's not forget about Aaron, not quite just yet. He's on the hard tyre, so...
He'll be doing the one-stop, so he'll be out for a very long time. Especially starting on those hards. But yeah, now, Swaggy and Wodboy.
It'll be interesting to see how their strategies play out as Roscoe Arm gets a 3-second time penalty. Because I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to do a 2-stop? Are they going to do a 1-stop? As Roscoe Arm... what on earth has happened to him? He was out towards the front of the pack, and then something happened.
Massively dropped. Yeah, maybe he just lost the back end and just thought it would be safer to just stay.
But, just a quick question to you, Alcatraz. Are you surprised to see there hasn't been a safety car in this race so far?
There's been a lot of moments where there could have been one, but yeah, kind of shocked that there hasn't been one, because I thought there might have been a car that might just lose a traction zone in Sector 2 and just hit the wall. Yeah. But yeah, this is just phenomenal. It's actually great to just not have a break with the safety car for 3 laps. It's actually got to go. We might wrap this up before bedtime.
Right. But have a look at this. Now going back to this battle for the provisional lead. It's currently led by F1 Amazing Hour with 40 in behind. He is now opened up. Let me just get this out proper. A 2-second margin between himself and Zach Crichton. And now 40 has Mackenzie and Alonso between himself and his main rival in terms of strategy. So 40 is looking superbly good for a fantastic result in this race.
Yeah,
Zach needs to try and find a way to pass.
Yeah, 40's goal is as he just pulls up 3 seconds, as we say that. 40's goal is basically just stay with F1 Amazing Hour. His goal is just to stay with F1 Amazing Hour. If he just stays with the toe, his strategy's on point.
Yeah.
So, but he pulls 3 seconds, so that might hinder his whole performance.
He needs to not do that. Is what he needs to do.
Yeah, you push, but don't do that.
Yeah.
But Stewart, obviously closely behind his teammate, so hopefully they've got to not double stack at any point during the race, as Romy is showing the soft pace, getting another fastest lap.
But he doesn't quite have the straight line speed to try and overtake the drivers in front. Like, he's got the mechanical grip, that is for sure, but he's got nowhere to use it. I mean, the only way you can overtake in this game is by utilising the DRS zones, try and get past into the braking zone into the next corner. Now, he's going to be way quicker in the second sector than these guys, but he's got nowhere to go, because it's a flowy section, it's very much a one-line sort of area, and you can't really find a way past. And you come into the third sector, there's not many overtaking positions there either, so it's not looking good for Alonso. He doesn't have track position. He's clearly the quickest driver on circuit, but he's got nowhere to try and get past the drivers in front. He's effectively wasting these soft tyres. They're already 4 laps old, which in this game is plenty old enough. Like, these tyres are now starting to get properly warm. It might not be a good race for Alonso, I think. Or as the back end steps out for that racing point. But now Wogboy comes into the pits. 15 laps on the mediums. He'll be coming onto the hards, I imagine. Yep. The hards. There you go on. And away he goes. So no 2 stop. Just the 1 stop from mediums to hards. Let's see. As F1 Amazing Hour claims a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So, this is where all the penalty shit starts to come into play, as they usually do in this game. So I know Amazing Hour and 40 now have 3 seconds. I'm pretty sure. 40 has 6 seconds. Okay, scratch that. Mackenzie's got 3 seconds. Alonso has got 9. Wow. And Zach somehow hasn't got a penalty yet.
Stewart just pulls up another one. 40 just pulled up another one.
Pulled up another one. Oh my word.
So they both pulled up. 40 with 9, and you said Stewart was on... He's on 12 now? Or is that Romy on 9 seconds? So oh no, Stewart's on 6 seconds, 40's on 6 on 9 seconds.
Mackenzie's on 6 now.
Yep.
Mackenzie's on 6.
And
now, I just want to just quickly check Aaron. I thought as much. Aaron doesn't have a penalty either. I just want to keep an eye on that Mercedes. Just a close eye, not a big eye, but just a close eye on that Mercedes.
But just think about it. 40's only 5 seconds away from him, and he's already pitted.
Oh, here we go. Battle for the lead, effective lead. 40 is fighting Amazing Hour. I didn't think this was
I thought he would
possible.
just enjoy the toe. I thought he would just enjoy the medium speed.
Look at that ERS just plummet. He is using all of his resources to try and get in front of that Alfa Romeo. I mean, that might help him, actually, to try and battle Amazing Hour, make him wear the medium. Oh, the ghosting's off! Of course the ghosting's off.
Has Billy not reconnected at all during this race? No one has decided to kick him an invite, so his car is just on that normal 90, but towards these drivers, 90 is piss slow.
Well, that 90 is being shown blue flag, so that AI is trying, in brackets, to get out of the way. But because it's incompetent and has an IQ of a peanut, it will just sit on the racing line and not move.
Exactly, and it hindered 40's little fight there, as he's dropped 8 tenths because of it.
So, Swaggy comes into the pits, he goes onto a hard tyre, and he'll make it to the end, giving Aaron the overall lead in the Mexican Grand Prix. But yeah, poor Spilly. I mean, I remember you saying that he was in the comment section asking for the invite, and it's just unfortunate as spectators, we can't actually send one. Like, there's nothing in the menus that allow us to do that. You have to actually be a driver on the circuit in order to send an invite. It's
a bit daft.
Kind of stupid, but you know, that's Codemasters for you. I'm sure it'll be a problem in F1 2020.
No, surely not.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, it's Codemasters, why not? Zach pulls up 3 seconds, so...
Alright, so Zach
an even
and
battle
AH...
now.
Yeah, Zach and AH are now on even terms in terms of penalties. Yeah, the other drivers have got a few more than that. But Aaron is still the clean boy. At the moment, he hasn't got a penalty quite just yet. And I'm just wondering, what strategy will he go on to? Will he switch onto the medium tyre, or will he switch onto the softs, I wonder? It'll be an interesting call to see.
You can do roughly about 10 laps on the softs, so it wouldn't be a bad shout just to go from hards to softs.
He'll have to pit on lap 26, which is still a fair way away.
Yeah, he'll be out for a long time. But who knows? Might work up for him. Might get a top 10 finish from it. So he did pit before. I think he was in 10th when he. Oh no, sorry, he hasn't pitted, but he already made 6 spots before everyone else decided to pit. So, but Spilly's just absolutely chilling. F1 Amazing now is only 3 seconds away from him. Oh, Donkey pulls up some penalties for himself. Battle-wise, just X Revolution is the closest behind Aussie Wizzy Rick.
Pretty much. The battle for P7 is very much on.
Yeah.
So the McLaren of Wizzy Rick, X Revolution in the Red Bull as Swaggy gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And Toddster in P9 trying to hunt down the Red Bull and the McLaren in front. And Swaggy is slowly closing in on these guys. He's on the freshest tyres out of the lot. And he's gaining rapidly. Oh, and Aaron's in onto the mediums. So he's not going to go all the way on the softs, onto the softs. He's going to switch to the medium tyre. He's had enough. He wants some new rubber. Behind the battle, behind Swaggy, behind Wogboy as well, I think. Once they get up to speed.
Is Wogboy going to pinch him here? I believe he will.
Oh,
he's not
maybe
pushing.
Not.
Wogboy's happy to sit behind him.
Yeah, righto.
But is Plebs happy to sit behind Wogboy? Is that the question?
No. Plebs will find every possible avenue to try and get past the Williams, I'm sure. Try and get himself into the top 10. He's chucked it up. He's very low on ERSs. Oh. Wow! Fuck, he pulls that up. 43 seconds again, so it's not looking good for Racing Point at all. Plenty of penalties their way at this stage. Let's see, any other battles going on? Sector 3, yellow flag. Is El Tonki? El Tonki? Yeah, he's just a slow car, he's just moving on by.
Blue flagging.
But if he finishes, that's 3 points that he scores, so keep going. As Alonso now comes into the pits, off the soft compound tyre, he'll switch onto the mediums, and then he'll make it easily. But look at all the track position he's going to lose, and the 5-second penalty he has to serve for speeding when he made his first stop. Well, look at that, he falls all the way down to 12th, probably 13th. This gaming wafer is definitely going to get by. There we go. So that's all the track position he lost on the soft tyre. Just unable to find a way past and really maximise the tyre. And he's now in 13th place. Now, have we got any battles going on or not? Yes.
It's the Plebs and Wogboy or the Aussie Wizzy Rick and Toddy.
Come on, Rizzy, I put you up for a podium, mate. Come on. Let's say it. Coming through the S's now.
As you say that, I'll probably get a time penalty.
Probably. Knowing us, yeah. Either that or he'll die of death going into one of the walls or something like that.
Double lock
commentator.
These drivers love locking up.
As always, he proceeds to cut every single part of that hairpin in the stadium section, does Aussie Wizzy Rick. Somehow he doesn't get a penalty for it, as El Tonki now comes into the pit lane. Get it.
To retire! No! You would have got 3 points closer to Swaggy.
3 points. 3 points. That's what you just threw away, mate. 3 points. And Stuart McKenzie now gets another 3-second time penalty, which goes up to 9. So I'm now starting to doubt whether or not Stuart McKenzie is going to be able to win this race, but he might.
Who knows?
He might have the mother of all drives. Oh wait, he's got a missing end plate. He has got a missing end plate.
Too. So that might, because when did Zach get in front of him? Because either
exactly.
Either it happened during Zach making a move, or he made a mistake and Zach pounced on it. But
yeah, exactly right.
Because I knew Zach was quite a far bit behind, especially when they're on the mediums. But yeah, that's definitely killed Stuart McKenzie's strategy there. He'll be dropping down to below 10th coming out. So is he pitting this lap for that wing?
Not yet. He's going to stretch this out. Like you said, the softs last about 10 laps, so he's got to last until about 26. So that's not looking good for the Alfa Romeo driver. But his teammate is looking all right. But I don't know how he's going to
down this very long straight. So be easy money.
And Aaron has moved himself up into P8 in that same process. He's now hunting down Resurrect, Podster, and
Toddy. That's one way of making your own track.
I saw that in the distance, mate. Have you ever owned a colouring in book where you have to colour within the lines? The same thing goes with your driving, mate. Holy moly!
At least he didn't have to give back the position because he already took it beforehand, but if so, he might have gotten a little bit more than just a 3-second time penalty for exceeding the track limits.
At that point, he was on a completely different circuit, right there.
Revamping what could have been.
What could have been. Deary me. Anyway, as Aaron is now right onto the back of Aussie Rizzy Rick, so these two are going to start battling for 7th place, and to my knowledge, Aaron still doesn't have a time penalty next to his name. As I say that, he's probably going to get one in about a minute, so be ready for that, folks, because that's how commentators work. And there's not a great deal happening anywhere else. There's a battle for P12.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal start with that train, but then obviously after the pit stop, everything started to stretch away. As we have got a Renault. It's Rudy. Just pulling to the side, he's got no damage. As you mentioned. After he makes his move.
See, we're that good. We are.
Oh, we might as well target someone. Okay, Toddy's going to proceed and just cut Hall of Sector 2.
No, Toddy is going to prove that he is the greatest racing driver that has ever lived within the next 2 minutes. That's what he's going to do. I swear, if something actually happens to him, I'm going to flip a table and lose my shit.
Swaggy 3 seconds.
Very nice. Aaron was doing so well, being a very clean boy, but now he's got 3 seconds.
He would have jumped a few spots as well.
Well, still, it's only 3, so a lot of drivers have got more than that. So he's still looking pretty good. And now he's up to try and overtake Toddster. He's got DRS, he'll chuck it up into hot lap, then down into overtake.
We're going to see Toddy move to the right classic, or going to stand still? There we go, move to the right classic.
Not quite the greatest race driver in the world move, but close enough, I think.
He may not be able to colour in a colouring book on the track, but he's readable as a 2-year-old. Toddy, but what a save.
That, and he is drifting everywhere. Mate, this is Formula 1, not Formula Drift.
Yellow Sector 1. We've got a
Romeo
Alonso.
He's very, very slow through Sector 1. He must have maybe went onto the grass, because I'm sure he overtook the gaming wafer the lap before. I think he's just made a mistake through the chicane. So, I think either this lap or next lap, both Mackenzie and F1 Amazing Al will be coming into the pit lane, as Aussie Rizzy Rick gets another 3-second time penalty. Let's see, F1 Amazing Hour, will he go in? No, he won't. He's staying out another lap. On 40, only 4.7 seconds behind, so
Plebs,
it's looking good.
Plebs nearly decided to go and hit the wall there, but great save.
No, poor Alton.
But Wogboy goes and takes a position back on Plebs there from his little mistake in Sector 2. But fight for the lead. F1 Amazing Hour still needs to pit.
Same with Mackenzie, so they're going to lose a fair amount of track position. And because of that, Aaron is now really going to bring himself into this battle for the lead, I think. It'll be interesting to see how much pace the Alphas actually have as Plebs and Wogboy begin to exchange positions a bit more. And Revolution is now being overtaken by Aaron. So at the moment, it's been an absolutely superb drive from Aaron in the Mercedes, up 10 positions from the start. And same with Revolution, holy moly, up 14. And Swaggy up 11.
It's a great really recovery drive from Aaron here, getting finessed in qualifying. He did the very team thing and give his team out a tow, if it was forced or not, and then decided to bail from his lap. But going up 10 whole positions, incredible drive.
Amazing how it's staying out. He's staying out another lap. Those meetings aren't going to make it. Maybe
Stewart's going in this lap. If Stewart goes in, then we know he's coming in the next lap. No, they both decide to stay it. There is no way they are staying out for the rest of this race.
The mediums surely aren't going to make it. They're going to be that dead by the end of this race.
Because you can't say they're doing it equally as quick as the hard series. Aaron makes another move.
There we go.
Aaron, what a recovery drive from you, mate.
Up to P4, this is a
the 3-second time penalty might be the difference between him winning and losing here. Especially getting the first place.
Second one.
But I'm pretty sure Zach is at 3 seconds.
Toadstone, Rizzy Wrecker side by side coming into turn 4. Oh, and a bit of contact, I think, between the two. It didn't give me a very good camera shot.
And there we go, yeah. He had to.
Proves why he's the greatest racing driver ever by getting a 3-second time penalty for running wide. Because the game is like that. And that's... Oh my word. He's got that back end everywhere at the moment. And now he's very vulnerable to the McLaren Swaggy. Here we go. Side by side and Swaggy.
Oh my god, he's gonna go! He's gone!
My goodness me!
That was way too much momentum. Way too much.
Virtual safety car has been deployed. Not a safety car, just a virtual safety car. And suddenly, F1 Amazing Hour hasn't pitted. Stuart McKenzie has. So Stuart's going to benefit out of this.
Dude, this saves Stuart. Oh, drive through. Oh my.
Yep, for Roscoe Arm for speeding. Game is brutal like that. You have to manage to the delta, and if you go over it, that's a penalty.
So Stewart gets a little bit of a saviour there, going back onto the softs. But F1 Amazing Hour stays out.
I mean, surely he cannot make the end of this race on those tyres. And now, 40 has to try and get past Spilly, who's in AI mode. He can't find a way past. He is losing so much time. The gap was 2.6 seconds.
Surely the AI can see it. There it is. Oh my god, he even cuts him off. I think that's... Oh, don't snickle it! Oh, there's an end plate gone! No, it's there, it's there, it's there. Oh, I thought that tyre was going to just get ripped off.
Oh my word.
I think that
he has to know
saved
that
it.
Spilly is not behind the wheel of that car. Amazing Hour is staying out another lap. I think he's going to try and go to the end on this set. Well, actually...
Rudy's gone. Oh, he's in the pits, that's fine.
He's in the pits. Actually, he is 100% going to stay out. He is not coming in. Now, he's only on 3 seconds. He knows that 40 is on 6. I think it might be 9 now for 40.
Yeah.
He has no real point of coming in. He's on 12, 40. The only driver he has to worry about is Zach. He's on 3 seconds as well, and same with Aaron. And they're a fair way behind. I don't think he's coming in. I think he's staying out.
X-Revolution's binned it. He's binned at turn 1.
Safety car! We've got a safety car!
It saved it. Oh my god, what is that?
Jamie. Oh my goodness.
Stuart McKenzie's absolutely ripped apart.
Oh my goodness me.
There it is, a war zone.
3 cars. All of them dead on the circuit.
This has saved F1 Amazing Hour. He's going to go on the softs. 40's got to get absolutely destroyed because of his penalties, but they're all going to come in for soft compound, surely. Unless track position. But
no,
it's 19 lap old
not
hards.
under these.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are not saying F1 Amazing Hour in 40 speed. Surely that's a speeding. No, it isn't. Zach very carefully in.
Aaron in as well.
Oh, Aaron's going to double stack, but he won't mind that too much, I think.
Isn't too bad when the next car is 9 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. He's got plenty of time to Aussie Rizzy Rick. So long as the crew actually get a fucking move on. There we go.
This hurts for Stuart McKenzie the most. He's on 1 lap old softs. He would have been at the front of the grid and laughing. Our boy is now being
got a broken wing.
Absolutely shattered front wing.
Big broken front wing.
Hey, when yellow tier is not providing incidents, we can see Diamond and Masters providing. He can stay on the softs, as he will be. So.
Oh, I mean on those softs. He might have to switch onto an old set.
He most likely will. So he might be forced onto his first stint softs. Because the game's whack.
Yeah.
Probably would have been better. Maybe he'll just go and pit again and be happy to lose 3 positions just to get fresher softs. No, 0 laps apparently on him. Probably has like 25%.
Okay, then, so they must be fresh. They must be fairly fresh then.
Yeah,
it goes. Oh, but dearie me. So F1 Amazing Hour seems to have this one most likely in the bag unless something happens. I mean,
it's all about a restart, really.
Yeah. Well, the only driver I see rivaling Amazing Hour at this point is Zach Crichton or Aaron. Both of them are on. All of them are on the same penalties, 3 seconds each, I think. I'll double check Zach. I know Amazing Hour's only 3. Yeah, but Amazing Hour's got 2 warnings. So if he gets 1 more, that's it. Zach, also 2 warnings plus a penalty. Aaron, only the penalty. So he can corner cut a little bit here and there. You know, to use that to his advantage. But, Robbie Alonso stayed out as well. He's now in 4th place. And who knows, that might work out. We'll have to wait and see. But he is on 10 lap old medium tyres. They are going to be very, very slow in comparison to the softs.
But I've got to give it to Aaron. This is an absolute... If he just didn't have that 3 seconds... An absolute game changer for him. He would have been 15th to 1st, just because of time penalties by the end of this race. Yeah, but this is a great save by him. Most likely driver of the day, but hopefully some of these drivers can stay somewhat clean. There's no need to drive side by side throughout this safety car. Relax for 2 laps, as we still have cars at the start and finish line. So,
yeah. So the safety car might be out. I don't think it'll be coming in this lap. Maybe next lap. Oh, that's if
Alex... those 2 need to catch up. It'll be out for 1 more.
Yeah, righto. All this neutralised action. Not fun.
Hey, but that's multi-hit. We had a VHC and a safety car.
And a safety car. Yeah, there we go.
Macca podium. As soon as we mentioned it on a multi, just didn't have to do it. Alex to finish the race. Still alive.
He's still alive.
4 wide. There were moments, but we didn't get 4 wide.
We might have on the start. Might have to look that over. See if we got a 4 wide at any point on the straightaway during the start of the race. We might have got a little bit. Yes, the cars are going around again. Hopefully both Spilly and Alex can finally catch up to the pack. And Alex is actually being held up.
40 decides to run off the track. What is he doing? He's completely off.
5-second penalty.
What is he doing? He's collecting 5 seconds.
Don't know what he's doing.
Now, okay. I saw a post saying if I did this, if I copped 5 seconds because I speed in the pit, like crashed into a car and I served in the pit lane, I go and get 5 seconds later on, can I get that removed? So I saw it twice, and I hope he's not doing that. because it's just silly. But maybe his controller disconnected. He's trying to grab it. I don't know, but he literally just grabbed 10 seconds worth of penalties on a straight
don't
line.
worry, I'll get the warning list after this race, so they won't be able
Yeah.
to make any sort of excuse like that.
Yeah. So unsure. What is this?
Oh shit! 40 almost goes up the back of Amazing Hour, leaving up those tyres.
What's going on here, 40?
He's pissed off. I mean, he's in a good place to potentially win this, but he's got
He's riding alongside. What is going on?
Oh shit, dude! Safety car in this lap.
Mate.
40 is beyond pissed off, I think.
Something must have happened. He looks like he wants to
Either
absolutely...
that or F1 Amazing Hour did something.
There is something going on in this restart, and
I'm keeping a close eye on these two.
Yeah,
because
I don't
something might go down.
think we can look anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting beyond interesting.
40 is right up his backside right now.
In hot lap and ready to
goes.
go. Yeah, I knew he's going to lose the car because of it.
Sideways.
Oh my god! Oh my
And he catches it.
Tony retires straight off the bat. He retired in the pit
Into
lane?
the wall.
Into the wall.
He crashed into the wall.
Oh, I see it in the background. Oh, mate. Have you not started out of first before? But we'll stay on board with 40 because there is obviously something that happened.
And Aaron's found his way past Romy Alonso as well for P4. So, both of the Mercedes are in a good place right now. Alcatraz, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, sorry.
Oh, there's Walkboy and Romy Alonso side by side through the hairpin as well, dearie me. Yeah, the Mercedes are now third and fourth, both of them only on 1 second penalties.
Yeah,
F1 Amazing Hour gets one more.
43
seconds.
I mean, he copped 10 seconds on a straight. What is he doing?
He is angry with himself, I'm sure, because he knows he's in a potential race-winning position. He's only got F1 Amazing Hour in front of him. If he didn't have penalties, he was lining himself up for a win. I'm sure he's just angry with himself. He's sideways coming out of the final corner.
Pulls the fastest lap, but I believe a car behind might pull it because of the DRS. But
not yet.
But we're looking at a Mercedes 2-3. Unless Wogboy has no penalties and just sliding into it.
Zach in 3 seconds.
Aaron's going to jump him now.
Yep, 100%. And 40, another 3. He is so close to disqualification, it's not funny.
If he gets disqualified, there's no... I mean,
at this stage, he is 100% dropping down to last place.
Yeah.
Except for Spilly, of course.
Yeah, so it's all up to Amazing now, not pulling... If he pulls another 3-second time penalty, we're seeing Aaron jump to P1. And that is back-to-back.
It's all up to AH, and it's only one warning. If he gets one warning, that's it for Amazing Hour.
All 40 has to do is get close enough just so he can hinder that type of driving style to even push him to that caliber to get another warning.
Sector 2 yellow flags. Romy Alonso has crashed. Deary me.
We'll stay
Alonso
on board with Spilly.
Yeah, Spilly will be a good one.
Spilly's AI on 32 lap old hards.
There he is. Dead on the server.
Just chilling.
And 40 spun. 40 has spun! Deary me!
Oh my, we've missed it.
He is spun in the stadium section. I only caught the back end of it and I saw his car just plummet down the leaderboard. He is now in P10. He is definitely going to be finishing in 11th place, which is still 10 points, which is plenty. So there's plenty of incentive to finish.
Stuart McKenzie 3 seconds, Aussie was Rick 3 seconds. Oh my. Not helping at all. Wogboy jumps Aaron.
Oh, okay. So Wogboy's got good pace, but Wogboy, I'm sure he's got plenty of penalties. I've seen his name.
Aaron let him go way too easily. Maybe he knows he can jump him.
He's on 15 seconds, Wogboy. He's got massive amount.
Wogboy!
Okay. Wogboy has been not so clean boy today at Mexico. Oh, and does Aaron have damage? He does have damage! Oh my goodness me!
The wing has been completely ripped off.
It is completely destroyed, and here comes...
And then Plebs makes an overtake off the track.
And Stuart McKenzie.
Should even swamped him, yes. Oh my.
Was there contact between Wogboy and Aaron that I did not see?
It seemed to be side-by-side action. Maybe it was leading into turn 1. We're just so focused on 40. Just didn't get to see what particularly happened, but F1 Amazing now was just running away with this. But wow.
Yeah, no, there is no chance anyone else is winning this race now. Unless Amazing Hour has one almighty cock-up. And at the moment, I don't see him doing that.
Stuart Mackenzie's making a big move on Plebs here on the fresher softs.
Oh, dearie me. Aaron was
has
on for
stayed
such
out, obviously.
a big finish.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That wing is incredibly broken. How on earth does that happen? Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Hopefully, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of enlightenment in the Discord chat after this race.
Yeah, it's got to be an absolute mammoth of a paragraph to overwatch, but as we come down to the final corners here, the confetti's going, or is it fireworks confetti?
It's confetti. As F1 Amazing Hour comes around the second to last corner, around the final turn, it is a win for Alfa Romeo here in Mexico, with Zach Crichton in P2, Wogboy potentially P3, I don't think so. I think it will go to Aussie Rizzy Rick. It does, or is it Plebs? It's
Plebs! Hey! From out of nowhere!
About time you get a good result. Oh, that's great.
He has been clawing and reaching for a podium, and it's just sublime that he's here.
Look who finishes 5th. It's Aaron. Aaron finishes 5th.
Jumping from penalties, even with the wing damage, but...
Imagine where he could have been.
Where, exactly. It's a roller coaster of a race for Aaron there. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see him on the podium, but F1 Amazing now is showing pure pace and determination, earning himself his first win in his first win in the Masterclass for Dynamic Knights Esports. His first race finish was 5th, then it was 4th, and he was just going up ever since he's joined, and it's just phenomenal to see that he's finally lifting that trophy at the Mexican Grand Prix round 11. But yeah, Plebs even showing his determination getting his first podium, so
yeah,
another new entry to the winning circle, yeah?
So it must be that it isn't Stuart Mackenzie that always wins when we do commentary. It must be just Alfa Romeo.
It must be just the Mamma Mia mobile.
It must be just the Mamma Mia mobile. With F1 Amazing Hour in P1 after such a commanding race, wins by 5.8 seconds to Zach Crichton in P2, Plebs in P3, Aussie Rizzy Rick P4, Aaron P5. Can you continue that list? Because I need to get the warning list just in case.
I can easily do it. Wogboy in P6. We got Dr. Dre P7. Stuart Mackenzie, unfortunately, in P8 from our lucky coordination going on here. And then we've got Alex, VSR Roscar, 40, Spilly, Romeo Alonso, and Toddy. And the rest, obviously, DNF from there. But
damn it.
That's alright. You got most.
I got up to lap 18. There were that many incidents.
I think they stacked it up in the last ending of that whole race, because we were like, oh, the no safety car feels lovely. You know, it's just nice to finish up at a reasonable time. Yeah. We still got a VHC safety car and a whole lot of commotion, but people to bring in post race, I think we need to invite.
I'll do that. Top 3, obviously.
Yeah, the top 3. But I'm keen to know what happened to 40 in a way. If 40's keen to talk what happened in the last moments of the race, because especially under the safety cars,
F1 Amazing Hour.
Interesting.
Zach Crichton.
Spectacle.
And Plebs a legend. Plebs P3. So you want to talk? What do you want to talk to Aaron as well, or?
Top 3. I think Aaron can just. I think relax for this one.
And just leave 40 out?
We'll bring 40 in a bit later. I think we'll do the top 3 and see where they go.
So I'll do that. I've invited the top 3. Hopefully they'll join us in a bit. That was a Mexican Grand Prix and a half, wasn't it? Holy moly. Yeah, I completely forgot about the warning list. Hear me. Da-da-da-da. Oh,
So we have
boy.
one join, two join.
Join. Hopefully Zach will be able to join us soon. Just to make sure again, fellas, that your audio is all good. Always on the loud. That way we can actually hear you on the stream, so then we're not talking into nothingness. So I think the top 3 are in the chat, which is fantastic to see. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a bit of post-race interviews here at the Mexican Grand Prix. Before I ask anything, I just want to congratulate you 3 for finishing in first, second and third, respectively. A very solid race for all 3 drivers. But I guess we'll start off with the winner for tonight's Mexican Grand Prix, F1 Amazing Hour. First of all, congratulations on the win, and second of all, that was a simply superb race from you. How did the race go? How did the race go for you as a whole?
Pretty damn good, I think. I have to say. Oh man, I'm honestly speechless after that. That means so damn much to me. I've had a wind stare me straight in the face like half a dozen times, and I haven't been able to capitalise on it. But that is a sweet victory. And considering what I was up against as well, was no small challenge to break away from some of those guys either. Didn't quite get the start right. I bursted into wheel spin, so obviously Zach was able to get around me and followed him for a few laps in. We had a real ding-dong battle for half a lap. That was pretty damn awesome, by the way. And, just after that I was able to get clear. He jumped me in the pit stops again with the undercut. I probably should have seen that coming, but for some reason I decided to give my teammate pit preference, so there you go. But, no, all in all, well, first off, I'd just like to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to actually come and race in here, because this is honestly damn good fun. I've actually really enjoyed these races. And yeah, like I said, I'm just bloody stoked with the first win on the wheel. That means a hell of a lot to me. And, you know, obviously, congratulations to second and third. They drove well, thoroughly deserved. And, yeah, that's it from me. So I think it's time for a cold beer.
A cold one, just to celebrate your little victory. But just before you do that, I just want to ask, you went onto the medium tyre after your first stop. Now, I noticed you were staying out for quite a long time. Were you planning to stay out on the mediums and not come in if it stayed green flag throughout the whole race?
I was trying to go to the end, was my initial impression, because I did do a little bit of testing earlier this morning along with my teammate, and we did realise that the mediums could go to the end, but we probably both pitted about 2 laps earlier than what we would have ideally liked. Obviously, the main reason we had to do that was just respond to the undercut, and Mackenzie obviously just trying to keep with the guys that were ahead. But yeah, I'm just speechless. I'm out of breath, honestly.
We'll let you go then. Well done on your first win, and congratulations on the race.
Honestly, yeah, like I said, just thank you guys for the opportunity. I appreciate it. GD to Plebs and Zach for getting on the podium as well. Well deserved. And yeah, I'm going to go grab a beer and lights out.
Righto, dude. Have a good one, and thank you very much for joining us. And you are quite welcome for joining us in this league, and I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying yourself. Now, let's move on to P2, shall we? Zach Crichton,
Yo.
First of all, congratulations on the P2, a very solid P2 at that. Just walk us through your race and qualifying as a whole. Did everything go your way today here at Mexico?
Yeah, not too bad. Starting qualifying, I was quite happy with my first lap there, and then on the final run, just stuffed it up, got invalid, as it's quite easy to do around here. But yeah, congrats to Amazing Air on the win. That's nice job there. First win on the wheel, so yeah, got to take my hat off to him for that. But and then we moved on to the race and started on the soft. Was always going to pit on lap 9. I thought, I'll just pit then. Struggled for grip, I must say. I didn't have any front or rear grip. I reckon had a bit too low of wings and setup. I probably needed actual do a bit more practice, I reckon, if I can find some time. But and then chucked the hard on. I was like, all right, we're gonna make it to the end, like I've done in some past league races. And I was like, all right, yeah, we can do this. Hopefully the mediums die, which they were. We were catching up, and yeah, got quite unfortunate with that safety car that came out late. I was like, oh damn, and had used softs as well, so I was quite the bummer. And yeah, just had to salvage second there. I thought 40's gone. I just need to bring home second here, extend my championship lead, and move on to the next round at Monaco, which should be good. I'm looking forward to that one.
Well, and also just a quick question. Were you in the same party as your teammate Aaron during this race?
I was in the same party as Aaron.
I just want to ask, something happened to Aaron towards the end. Do you happen to know what happened?
40's car was doing all kinds of things. It was it was zagging all over the place, and it kind of hurt me a little bit as well, being behind. And then he crashed, and luckily I just avoided, but not so lucky for Aaron, and he lost his front wing there.
Okay.
So, and he was looking good. We had a plan to try and get him the win there, but that kind of folded once that occurred there. Just went out the window. So yeah, not a good day. Well, what was looking for a very good day for Mercedes turned out to be quite not so perfect. Quite average.
Yeah, but still a solid points finish for both yourself and Aaron. So good points for the constructors and for the drivers' championship as well.
Yeah,
so
we've got some nice tracks coming up as well. I'm looking forward to actually practicing, and I know my pace at a few of these tracks is really good, so I just need to bring that, and we'll be good.
Well, we'll have to wait and see for next week, starting off in Monaco, and we'll be looking forward, particularly for qualifying at Monaco, seeing you go around. No pressure. We'll see how you do. But thank you very much for joining us in the Combox tonight, and thank you for answering a couple of our questions as well. We'll move on to P3, Plebs. Mate, I know you as one of the most unluckiest drivers that I have witnessed in a couple of these races, just getting involved in some accidents here and there. None of them your fault, but you just get involved in them and you lose so much time in position. This P3 must be really, really relieving for you.
Mic check.
So yeah, to get anywhere near the podium is ridiculous, to be honest.
Podium's a podium.
Yeah. So
Podium's a podium.
When the VSC came out, I'm like, I was right near the pit lane, so I jumped on some softs then and got a free pit stop. So I was actually kind of dirty that there was a full safety car, but in the end, I don't know. I think I just jumped everyone on penalties, even though I had 6 seconds. So, and some crashes and stuff. But yeah, pretty lucky. I was probably due some luck, so I'll take it.
But did the race mostly go your way according to plan?
Yeah. The softs in the first stint were pretty slidey towards the end, so I was actually going to do soft. I only used 2 sets of softs in qualifying, so I was going to do soft, medium. I changed it up because I thought the softs were too slidey, and just went straight to hards and thought they'd go to the end. And then took that free pit stop under the VSC and then just stayed on those tyres. So didn't really go to plan, but just went with it as the race evolved, I guess.
Yeah, it's still a fantastic result, I have to say. P3, a lot of solid points for yourself and Renault. So congratulations on that. Alcatraz, have you got anything to add for the 2 drivers left in the combox?
No, you've knocked it down perfectly. Just congratulations to Plebs for his first podium, and Zach for being consistent again. Just staying on
Not
that
my
top
first
3.
podium though, is it? I got a podium at Singapore. Yeah.
And we commentated that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you are the new lucky charm.
So it's an Alfa Romeo that wins and Plebs on the podium. Is that how it works between us?
Must be.
It must be. That's going to be a
All the way
multi
back
for
at the
Monaco.
second race.
Yeah,
if we see it again.
Yeah.
And that's right, you were too. You crossed the line first, but then demoted the second. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's great. But, I think that's about it, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us in the Combox, asking us answering us a couple of the questions coming over the race. And again, congratulations on your finishing positions. Alcatraz, a very nice race for you, or was it a bit?
Yeah, roller coaster. I felt like it was the exact same as the last time we did a Mexico meetup. It seemed quite fine, a lot of excitement, and then a nice safety car to wrap it all up. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. I enjoyed myself, and I hope the drivers did as well. So it was great. I can't wait to be back in the comms box if I get invited back.
Well, thank you very much for joining with me tonight, as Expert couldn't make it. A fine substitute, I might add, a very talented commentator, Alcatraz. Can't say he's a talented driver, though, but that's another story. But, ladies and gentlemen...
Don't have the tech, just have the techers. Let's keep going.
But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful Mexican Grand Prix, another sort of chaotic race in that safe.
Yeah.
Love it when your mic cuts out. Don't you love it when your mic cuts out? I love it. My mic just goes, yeah, mate, you're in the middle of a speech. Fuck you, I'm going to turn off.
We'll cut it in post.
Anyway, let me do this proper, and hopefully my mic doesn't just go AWOL on me. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the Mexican Grand Prix and my mic cutting out midway through a speech, because it does that. Tune in for next week, because it is going to be the races of all races, the Grand Prix of Grand Prix. It is time for Monaco, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. The best drivers in Australia on one of the world's most technical, most difficult, and most prestigious racing circuits. It should be an absolute classic. Until next time, I've been the Smeg. My co-commentator tonight has been the wonderful NBC-ALCATRAZ. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.